All right, so Dan linked me the portfolio with them grouped up like this. Usually I click all. I assume you're separating these out because reasons. So environment artist. So we'll go with portfolio. Yeah, we got a handful of scenes. This is really interesting. Late for school assets. So these thumbnails are very similar to each other. So I think maybe if there was just a slight change in arrangement, other than just the back, like if the stormtrooper helmet wasn't in this one, I think people will. How do I explain that? So because the stormtrooper helmet is in both images, people might just click on the final image and then not look at your assets because of it. So let's go ahead and start here. So this scene looks pretty cool. It's got a lot of props in it. I think the biggest downside is how dark it is. It is very dark. Yeah, see how the histogram is quite up there. So you want to make sure you're using your full range. And then like let's see if we can. So this curve's a little better. Like you'll always hear me say that you want to have your curve peak up around here and have very little truly black pixels. So let's see what that's a little better. So you can see where it's capping out here. You can guarantee that all that information is just either non-existent or it's only 2 or 3 values of shade. But yeah, this scene's really cool. It is very single colored, like monochrome. I don't think you want to desaturate it because a lot of the lighting is being caused by warm light sources. So naturally it is going to be quite quite warm in color. In general, it's a pretty good amount of props in here. These, I guess, are really bright just because of what I had done. Yeah, see, the candles here look really good. And I think it's just the brightness of the lighting is what's pushing those down. Because, like, when we go back to this one, these are way too hot now, of course. Because the candles have a really nice gradient to them. I kind of wish there was some stuff spilled. Yeah. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Let me just paste this here and we'll just do. Nope, we don't want that. So I just do this just so we can see a little bit more. So I guess the only thing I would say about the props. Oh, I love the little gaps in here. Is just getting some wear or age on them to show they've been used for a while. The white parts of the burnt wood. Bionic, what's going on? How you doing? I would suggest. Oh, Shifty, thank you. Thank you for the follow. I suggest maybe making the white values in the kind of like that ashy value to just be a little bit darker. Because I definitely look at reference when you're trying to figure out what this needs to look like. Because I think it's going to be more the, not even midtones, highlights maybe. Yeah, because you want that kind of ashy stuff to get pushed back. Yeah. And then remember that a lot of lighting is going to be coming from this. This is going to be the primary source of your lighting just because this becomes so bright. So then the focus should be here. And what is going on? Hang on here. Highlights. Yeah, the focus is here, so you're gonna want that warmth, right? And then because of that, you kind of want it to carry through to the rest of the scene a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little too saturated for what we're trying to do. But it really, yeah, you can see here too. I mean, even going dark like this, you know what you could do? So is the dark one under here? Yeah. We do the magic mask trick again. You invert this and then use the mask to like push those values up. Because, like, remember, this space is further back, so it's not really going to be getting hit by that. So, like, you might be able to even push these areas out a little bit more. And then let's dupe this one, and we'll bring the... what am I doing? Hang on. Oh, I see. I see what's going on here. Okay, so you can... There it is. Take this one. Kind of bring the brightness up a little bit. But then the focus is much more on like the main light sources. Nice. Dude, cats write crazy things when you give them a keyboard. Anywho, this scene's really cool. Yeah, it's just very dark. Remember to maintain like focus on like where your main lighting is coming from. And pushing that. Dude, the candles are sick. They look so good. I really like them. Super cool. Oh yeah, see there's all these elements up here. Interesting. Really cool. Really cool. Okay. Let's continue onward here. So this looks like this is the exterior of it. Again, it's very dark. There's this thing that a lot of us artists hate, but it's a necessary evil a lot of the times, and it's the Hollywood night. And that just really like pumps up what you would assume would be dark. Yeah, yeah. So let's just paste that on here, and we'll just add a mask. Because you can still focus on, let me see what's back here. You can still focus on the sky being light, because stars are going to be quite bright. And then making sure that the front of this building is pretty bright, and then everything around here is bright. Anywhere that you're getting sky highlight or sky exposure is probably going to pop. And then if we take this and lower it down, you get a little bit more of a focus versus this. It's like this is very flat, right? Whereas this one is maintaining the kind of darkness, but is also keeping your focus on the target, which is right here, on the subject, if you will. Yeah. Let me think here. But yeah, Hollywood Night's a real thing when it comes to like film and stuff. So you could argue I could copy this. So you could use this, right? And separate that out just so this is coming forward from the roof. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so then the mound comes forward as well. Because then it explains why it's so dark here, right? Because it's all kind of getting occluded by these two. You've got the overhang and then this snow pile here. And then maybe we can tone this down just a little bit. Anyways, yes. Hollywood Night is a necessary evil a lot of the times. But seeing how dark this is, and seeing how dark your last one is, this one as well, I'm beginning to think that maybe your monitor is really dark. Let's look at some of your other, or not dark. Maybe your monitor is really bright. So you're tuning it to that, and that's causing your overall imagery to look quite dark. One way you can test that is it better to make those changes in Engine or in Photoshop? So definitely in Photoshop, and then like fine tuning of stuff in like post work you can do in Photoshop. But those are pretty drastic changes what I was doing. So you're gonna want to make sure that you're getting your range is pretty nice inside of Unreal. And I believe Unreal has a histogram as well to be able to display this stuff. So what you want to aim for is a curve like this. That would be preferable, because then you're not spiking too much into the really brights and not spiking too much into the dark values, and you're getting like a nice range and fall off here. This one also feels like it's kind of suffering from the same. Yeah, see, everything is very like heavy on one side. You could argue that maybe is a little too saturated by what I've just done, but you can see the difference. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Grass is difficult. Usually I would suggest sampling the grass at quite a small scale, and be careful with how they're blending together with like this overlapping information. I would look really closely at how ignore the top testing. I can't ignore it now. I saw it. One thing you could do when you're testing this stuff out is if you have a laptop, you just view it on the laptop, right? If you have it on a monitor, view it at like school on another screen. Viewing it on your phone is one way to do it, but phones tend to be pretty good when it comes to overall like color and brightness representation. So just look at it on a number of things, and you should be in a pretty good spot. Grass is difficult though. I can't really comment too much on grass. I know that like having the blades exposed like this grass actually looks really thin. And I think that ambient occlusion is really going to give you the depth that you're looking for. If the grass blades were quite a bit smaller, you probably fake it more. Let's look at this scene though. Yeah, so this scene's a bit better. This is 7 months ago. I guess when I'm talking about that stuff, it might be too old. Maybe you have a different monitor now. Yes, this is a little bit better. So I would use maybe like a different colored fog, or like some way to separate out the elements so that you know which trees are forward and then which ones are kind of pushing back into the distance. Mm-hmm. Actually, what if I colorize this? Make it blue. Do that, lower this so it's a little bit of a mix. I don't know, that mix looks weird. But let's say we grab this, paste it, delete that, and maybe we'll lower the saturation. And then mask it. Oh, I'm feeling like this is a bad idea. I'll try it anyways. It's fine. This is fine. So then you get the gradient in there, and then really probably tone down the, just to help like separate out the elements, you know? So this is more of like a compositional thing, especially when you have something like this. Is just getting something back here that's different to separate out the well from the background is going to really help. So Advisable Robin says a lot of grass materials lack large and medium height reeds, where those should give you the most info in the individual blades aren't as important to represent in the normal. Yes, definitely. This is a bad representation of what I'm trying to show you. I mean, even if it was darker, that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, just something to help you separate out the elements. That's not a similar color, but maybe like a complementary color. In general, this looks pretty good. I think the ground here needs the grass. Like there's all this grass blade stuff back here, and it really needs to be on here as well, because this will really help pop out these shapes. This image is also kind of suffering from the too mid-ranged. Let me see what else we got here. This is a little better when it comes to the grass. Just this, it's like smaller in detail, but this is more like grass that you'd find in like a golf course. Like it's been very controlled and whatnot. So like bringing in a lot of layering of elements is going to help. All right, I got to see this scene. Oh yeah, tons of stuff. So that bag feels huge. I like the posters. That's pretty cool. Nice hanging of the poster where it's like pinned down and then where it's kind of relaxing. That's great. Maybe some extra polys to make sure that this is rounder. Especially since it looks like you've added some polys here to make sure that that's round enough. In general, this scene looks pretty good. I think where it's breaking down is probably the roughness. Nice on the Mountain Dew cans. So this was a month ago. This is definitely still has that that darkness issue. A little better. I think the posters as well maybe are a little too saturated. Like I think that's all the difference you need. It's difficult though, because it could just be in a few spots. Like just making sure that the overall color on these is not hitting too hard. Maybe the TV's fine. Blonde. Blondie. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I think you get the point of that. Oh, dude, I love the tape up at the top where it's like, oh, something used to be up there. What about the detail normals? I don't see any. On this stuff? I mean, this stuff's kind of far away to be able to tell. Like, maybe here you could add some detail normals. I need to do a demo where I actually show the detail normals in use, like, really closely on some assets of varying material types. That would be really nice. So the other thing I'd be careful with is how dark the darks get in the posters, because you want those to you don't want those to be the blackest thing in the image, right? Because it's printed, but then that surface of that printed paper is going to be telling you different things. Let me look at this one. Oh yeah, so I love this one. So this one has a pretty accurate. Dude, I love how this is kind of in shadow. This is definitely your strongest piece so far. Yeah, and see how much more information is in your lighter area? Super nice. And it's a little bit washed out now with what I've done, but that kind of implies the cigarettes and the smoke. But overall, this is really, this turned out really nice. This, whoops, this material here is bugging me a little bit. Oh, and there's some pinching right here in the normal, I think, from the, I don't know if you baked that or what. This looks like it could be a detail normal, and then maybe just toning down the strength of it. Yeah, it's baked. Cool. In general, though, sick scene. This spot right here alone, like, yeah, this is cool. He done it. He done it. Killer strikes again. Mayor issues a statement. No smoking. Sorry. Dude, this looks dope though. I don't have too much to say on this. I think my main focus is this area. Like if you could get this reflectiveness information here to be just a little bit more popping. Like that. Oh, look at, oh yeah. Oh yeah, the other trick. If you dupe this, do a filter, other high pass, and just get those like sharp edges. So the goal of this view is to just get sharp edges there. And then you can just overlay it. And you can see what it does here. Really tightens up the sharpness on stuff. And then you can tone it down. And you can scale the percentage to just really like bring that extra level of crispness. But yeah, this is hotness. Nice work. Definitely leveled up. I would love to see like some of the pieces up close because they're really detailed. Like the camera, I'd love to see that next to the ashtray in the coffee cup, just kind of like placed on the mat by themselves. Very nice work though. Very nice. I'm not even signed in. Okay, I'm gonna like that later. You plan on doing a breakdown when you got some time? Nice. It can be in the same post. I think is fine. Super solid stuff though. Okay, I'm gonna get the. We've only got 34 minutes to go, so gotta try and get through those Discord critiques in a meaningful way. I will be right back. Thanks for posting that, Dan.